Boston fans expect to see, a certain level of camaraderie and work ethic when you're out here in front of them, and that's what is expected of us. But that's been the same message for my entire time. It's not one that we gave when we were whatever we were. So you play between the lines. I don't know why, we were below 500 at that point, but we've played better on the road and at home in the past month and a half or so.
The Celtics beat the Miami Heat 101-89. We're going to talk about that here on the Garden Report, powered by Grandstand on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.
Yes, I'm the boss.
Welcome to the show. I am Jared Weiss. I'm joined by Gethin Coolbaugh from the Associated Press. And we had one of the most boring games of the year that still ended up being interesting in the end, but a real matinee snoozer. The Celtics grinded it out against the Miami Heat. They won 101-89. They had 6 guys in double figures, and then 2 guys that were just a point or 2 shy of double figures. So a very well-rounded game in which Isaiah Thomas was not the alpha dog for once.
Well, the end result was very misleading because the Celtics opened missing 8 of 9. This building was absolutely dead. As you said, it was really a snooze fest. It didn't seem like anyone really came to play. The Heat struggled at the beginning, but they kind of picked it up. But in typical Celtics fashion, like you said, they grind it out. They come back for the win. Isaiah Thomas finishes with 12 points, has a few key buckets down there in the stretch, and this team just keeps on winning 10 straight at home.
They're good at home now. And that wasn't the case for most of the season up until a few weeks ago.
Right.
So they've won 10 in a row at home. And I know Stevens had a nice quote during postgame saying that they don't really talk about where it is they're playing, whether it's home or away. But with Celtics fans and Boston in general, they expect a certain level of intensity and camaraderie, and that's something that he preaches for the team. The rest of the team is basically saying, it's nice to win at home, and you want to win at home. And there is value. I think Marcus Smart especially said that there is value in holding down the fort.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it seems like this team it's never really been an issue of can they step up at home. It's just like really just they kind of go through their ebbs and flows of when they're good, and it happens at home to be the kind of a downswing a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, there's historical precedent for being good at home. I mean, look at all the odds and numbers in the playoff series about, keeping that home court advantage and winning those games, and that's certainly something you need to do. They say win your games at home, go better than 500 on the road if you can. But yeah, I did like what Brad said, especially that, Celtics fans have come to expect that certain level of performance here at home, and they get it for the most part. And really, it's, tip for tap because you have all the fans really powering these players on. I mean, you've heard it. When this place gets going, it's a rocking environment.
Yeah. And when it's an early weekend game, it's a snooze fest.
Absolutely.
I think it's that people aren't drunk enough yet. That in Boston, you need to get at least a couple pints of beer in you.
Yeah, it was 3 o'clock though. People don't have an excuse for that.
That's true. They should be drunk.
3 o'clock on a Saturday. You should be drinking by Friday night.
Hey, I'm already drunk right now, so no, not really.
I suspect it.
So Isaiah didn't really have a big game, but of course he had a couple nice plays at the end of the game, as he always. It's like he's contractually obligated to do that. But the story in the fourth quarter was perimeter defense, forcing turnovers, and getting on the break. And Marcus Smart was huge in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Smart offensively coming up pretty big too down there in the stretch. I think the final 10 minutes scores the 8 points. He hit that big 3 to kind of spark that run. And it's not like the Celtics where they wind up winning by 12. It's not like they were ever really firmly in control of this game until they turn it on in the fourth quarter there. But Marcus Smart continues to grow, continues to show the pit bull kind of player that he is, and sky seems to be the limit for him.
So you think? I mean, how good do you think he could become based on that?
Well, I mean, the shooting obviously needs to continue to improve. I wonder if his ceiling is a little better Avery Bradley. Perhaps. I mean, because they're very similar players, very good defensively. Avery's a much better shooter, but I don't know. I mean, he has plenty of time to go, plenty of time to keep improving. But and it may not be the Celtics' call to say what his ceiling is. Eventually you might include him in a package, one of these trades. Hope someone bites on that, but as long as he keeps improving, that's what matters, and he's doing that so far.
And I think he's improved on both ends of the court over the past month or so since he's kind of gone back into the rotation. But what I loved tonight was the fact that Isaiah had what was the number on his lowest scoring output?
It was either 31, his lowest scoring output in 31 or 32 games, dating back to that mid-December game. Right here, Kevin Garnett's last game with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he had 8 points then. Isaiah Thomas missed all 8 of his shots in the first half tonight, and as we were, of course, on Twitter, joking around, he's still gonna, wind up with 20 points or whatever. That didn't happen tonight, but he was very impactful down the stretch, and that's what you've come to expect from him.
I mean, he went 4 for 17, so he took enough shots to try to get the 20 points.
He's a volume shooter.
And that was also the last time you were on the Garden Report. So
it is. So
whenever Isaiah suffers, you succeed.
Yeah, so let's pick a time in April or something.
All right, that sounds good. All right, we'll be back for part 2 here. We'll talk more about this game on the Garden Report, powered by Grandstand on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.